Other tall president's going to win the election in 2020. Donald Trump was a huge 9-inch difference between Hillary Clinton, a more dominating, imposing figure. Psychologically, is why Americans tend to vote for the taller president. A tall figure is a more masculine, dominating, imposing figure. This is why, historically, elections have been won by the taller president. The taller candidate has won the popular vote in 67% of all U.S. elections. Now, there are some exceptions. Mitt Romney is 6'2", Obama 6'1". You have to be over 6 feet to be president if you're a male in the first place, for the most part. Voters prefer the leaders in general to be tall. And when we talk about Elizabeth Warren's imposing figure, she is 5'8". Hillary Clinton was a huge 9 inches off of Donald Trump's 6'3". In fact, Donald Trump is one of the tallest presidents in history. He was the second tallest to Abraham Lincoln. FDR was 6'2", great president. George Washington was really tall president for his time, when mid 5 feet was the standard height back then. A good 9-10 inch difference was highly massive. It was the largest between two major candidates in the television debate era, because when you're standing on your podium, you get to see the notable height difference. You see the two candidates shake their hands. Elizabeth Warren is a good 3 to 4 inches taller than Hillary Clinton. Elizabeth Warren is 5'8". The average male height is 5'9". Elizabeth Warren is 1 inch smaller than the average male height. The first female president has to be a tall president. Elizabeth Warren at 5'8". The first female president is going to be a tall one. This explanation for preference for tall leaders relies on evolutionary psychology, which suggests that human behavior is a result of not only people's environment, but also long-term evolutionary forces, such as psychological mechanisms that evolved to solve our ancestors' problems regarding survival and reproduction. We prefer taller leaders because our ancestors selected more formidable allies, were more likely to survive and pass on related genes in their violent environment. So it's evolutionary psychology. That's why Americans prefer taller presidents. And this is going to be a big reason why Elizabeth Warren is the perfect candidate at 5'8" to knock off Donald Trump. Kamala Harris, 5'2", she's done. She's toast. No way. Donald Trump is a good 10, 12 inches taller than her. Elizabeth is 5'8". We need a tall, dominating, imposing figure. It is the election that's going to be held on November the 3rd of the year 20. That's the date numerology of 34. It is a 5'8" woman that's going to win. It is Warren that also equals 79 and 34. It's Democrat that equals 79 and 34. Elizabeth Warren would last as president until 2028, the year 28. Her initials equal 28. It is tall president of the United States that equals 28. It is tall woman president that equals 77. We are talking about Elizabeth Warren. Tall figures win elections. Elizabeth Warren is a tall figure that, according to our evolutionary psychological biases, we tend to favor those candidates. Tall woman, president of the United States, revelation. Donald J. Trump is who she's going to beat. All of these equal 49. When we talk about Warren's height of 5'8" running up against Donald Trump, Trump Tower has 58 stories in Trump Tower. It was built with 58 floors. Trump Tower. Elizabeth Warren is 5'8". She is going to defeat Donald Trump. In fact, the Masonic occult rigged these elections. And funny how Freemasonry equals 58, and how Massachusetts, where Warren is senator from, and Masonry both equal 33, and Warren happens to be 5'8". It's pretty clear. Elizabeth Warren's height is why she's going to be president of the 117th U.S. Congress, as documented earlier. Senator Elizabeth Ann Warren, the first female U.S. president. You know, Donald Trump at 6'3", a tall president. Tall equals 45. A tall female, a more dominating, imposing figure is needed to beat Trump versus Hillary Clinton at 5'4", 5'5". It is Rand Paul who would replace this tall female in 2028, the John Birch candidate. Elizabeth Warren and her height and evolutionary psychology and what it suggests for the 2028 election. And Elizabeth Warren at 5'8" is 68 inches tall. It's Donald John Trump that equals 68. It is Donald John Trump that is the president of the racist right wing of that segment of right-wingers. She'd be the next Democratic president after Barack Obama. It is Barack Obama that equals 68. How did we get there? 12 inches in a foot, 5 feet, tack on 8 more, that is 68 inches. Next Democratic president, she is going to succeed Donald Trump. 5'8", Elizabeth Ann Warren, the winner of the 2020 election. I want you to notice something too, that 5'8", that adds up to 13. When we talk about Donald Trump's birthday of June the 14th, 1 plus 4 adds up to 5. 1946 adds up to 20. 2 plus 2 equals 4. Let's see here. That is June the 14th of 1946. 1946 adds up to 22 plus 0 is 2. Donald Trump is a 13-4 life path. Elizabeth Warren's height, 5'8", adds up to 13. Another reason why Warren's going to win, create the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau in the coming crash.